Good morning and welcome to the Brick by Brick podcast with Ronald Pauleus, where we believe progress isn't accidental, success isn't magical, and opportunity isn't found, it's created. I want to talk today on this idea that action produces opportunity. It's vital we start off with this concept and idea and this principle here in the new year because a lot of people think they have to wait for opportunity. You've heard it before. I'm waiting for the right door to open. I'm waiting for this to line up. I'm waiting for this to occur. I'm waiting. And people take this passive approach towards their future where they're waiting. Responsibility in someone else's hands. The button that causes the engine to go and start is in someone else's hands. And I want to reverse that thinking for you because you are in more control than you realize. Action produces opportunity. Not waiting, not wishing, not planning forever. Now, don't get me wrong. Planning is needed, but planning does not move the needle. Action does. First, let's talk about the myth of opportunity. Many people talk about opportunity as if it's something you find. I mentioned it earlier. They say, I'm just waiting for the right opportunity. If the right door opens, once I get a break. But here's reality. Opportunities don't show up for people who wait. They show up for people who move. Okay, let me see if I can break this down. Action produces clarity, meaning it isn't just reading about how to write a book that produces clarity and pushes the ball forward. It is actually, did I say book? I meant bike. It is actually learning and jumping on the bike and using the pedals and using the handlebar and using the brakes, sitting on the seat, looking at the gears, on the bike, taking the action. That's what actually produces the clarity. And as you get clarity, you realize the steps you ought to take forward. As you take action on the thing, you also produce confidence. You never have confidence before you do something if it's your first time because you've not done it. But as you do it and do it and do it and do it, the confidence comes. I can jump on a bike and ride with my eyes closed. When I first was riding, could I have done that? No. But I took the action that produced the clarity. Okay, this is how I actually ride a bike. And as I took that action several times, I got to the point where I can jump on a bike. As long as the path before me is clear, I can ride that bike with my eyes closed. I've done it enough time. I got that much confidence. And in the same way, opportunity comes out of nowhere as you take action. What do you mean by that? Well, I'm at the park and I remember riding bikes with friends, etc. Well, there's a lot of bike giveaways during holiday season, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all those things. And people give bikes away. And so you get there and an opportunity arose because I was taking action with riding bikes. They're always giving. They're always giving bikes. You can find somewhere in your city that has some bike giveaway, or another city, and was it the case that, like, were you waiting for the right opportunity? No, you took action that allowed you to learn how to ride a bike, build confidence on riding a bike, and you created your own opportunity by being able to do something with it. Let's keep going, and this will become clear. Action comes first. Action does a few powerful things for us. It puts us in motion, gets us going. A big part of being healthy is moving. Just moving your body, moving your joints, right? Action does that, puts you in motion. Boom, boom. I'm starting to do things, starting to go forward. It exposes you to people, getting into rooms where people are doing the thing that you want to do, getting into rooms where people's Tuesdays look like your dream day, getting in the room where people are dreaming big, and you're just trying to ride a bike with two wheels. There are people over here talking about unicycles. It's like, oh, like what? You get exposed to those types of people. And then the other thing, while you're taking action and getting in those rooms, is that it reveals gaps you couldn't see sitting still. You didn't realize that it took that much effort to produce that result. But that's okay. You taking action allowed you to see the distance. Jim Rohn, he'd say, I think his mentor told him that if you want to make $1 million, you got to endure $1 million worth of pain. And that is terribly insightful, because I don't think people realize how much it takes to get the hard things they want. You want a good marriage? You have to endure pain worthy of a good marriage. What does that mean? You got to have tough conversations. You got to communicate clearly and effectively. I talked to my wife, Joanna, and I know what I'm saying in my mind. I have an idea. I know I'm communicating that thing and this and that, and I'm not always clear. And she's saying, what are you wanting me to do? Where is that thing? What were you wanting? And I thought I communicated clearly. Obviously, I did not, because she's wanting clarity. And we're going through the pains of communication where it's causing me to say clearly, I want you to get this, whatever this is. It causes you, and that only happens while you're in action, while you're moving. The other thing action does is it creates momentum. When you move, things start to happen around you. So I've noticed this in my life. I've taken massive action in the real estate space, in the entrepreneurship space. And opportunities are coming along that have not before and would not have in a million years. What do you mean? So I got a deal. My first rental that I purchased is from a lady, hoarder, who is a hoarder, was a hoarder, and she's downsizing, getting rid of things, and this and that, and was coming up for auction. I mean, she's a hoarder, so hoarders are procrastinators. There, I said it. and her auction was coming up, and I got a hold of her, ended up buying the house from her, And I gave her time after I closed so she could... Excuse me. That's how you know my podcasts are not edited. They're raw. Other people would have taken that yawn out or do another take. I'm just like, send it, baby. Anyways, so she bought the house from her, gave her some time after closing for her to downsize, get things out she wanted, etc., 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 yada, yada, yada. Well, it is in the process of me taking action, me knocking on her door, me negotiating, having conversations, me going to my hard money lender to get funding, me going to title company, opening up escrow, and us going to the title company together and closing on documents, that in the process of conversation, she says, well, thank you so much for how you've helped me. You were amazing. You're kind. You didn't make me feel bad about all the things I have. I'm embarrassed, and thank you so much. You've been awesome. 7 days later, she refers me to another lady who is also a hoarder. And guess what? She is also a widow. She's wanting to sell her house. She's moving to a nursing home. She's gonna be, she has a whole bunch of stuff and she doesn't want to put it on market. She just wants to find someone like me who will not make her embarrassed, who will have kind conversations with her, who will give a fair cash offer, and will buy it. And she doesn't have to worry about listing and concessions and TRRs and fixing things up for the person buying. Is like, nope, I'm done. I want to be done in 2 weeks. I want to be done in a month. You get the house. I go to my nursing home. Action produced that opportunity. You see how it's clicking? Before, if I wasn't knocking doors, if I wasn't negotiating, if I wasn't buying houses, I would have never in a million years had that opportunity. You see, opportunity doesn't come to those who wait. It comes to those who are taking action. And that same lady, the original one who I bought the house from, she's gonna give me more referrals. Why? Because she's retired and she just goes to McDonald's and libraries and parks and have conversations with people, and she knows that for every house I get as a referral from her, I'm gonna give her a few $1,000s. And you should see her eyes perk up like, are you serious? It's like, yeah. It's like, well, let's do it. Action produces opportunity. If you feel you're in a place where you have no opportunity, start taking action and produce your own. Conversations you would have had, skills you wouldn't have learned, doors you didn't even know existed. Action expands that and opens those things for you. Then this is the other thing. Opportunity is a byproduct, not a goal. Byproduct, not a goal. You see, stop chasing opportunity. Start chasing execution. When you take action, you meet people who open doors for you. You meet people who open doors for you. I'm going through a couple of books by Admiral William McRaven. Awesome guy. Amazing speeches, amazing books. Check them out. Been going through Wisdom of the Bullfrog, and now I'm going through Conquering Crisis. And in his Wisdom of the Bullfrog, he's speaking to leaders, and he says, he lines out this concept that stuck with me, that basically take action, it will produce opportunity. But he puts this on. He says, work so hard that you produce your own opportunity. Because what will happen is people will see how hard you're working. You're getting up, going to the gym. You're there negotiating, taking courses, joining mentorships, going to conferences, having conversations with people. Maybe you got a W-2. You're working late, putting in the extra hours, asking hard questions, integrating AI because you know that's going to disrupt everything. You're ahead of the ball. You're working hard, taking action. And people will see that and say, he deserves a raise. She deserves a promotion. He is a go-getter. I want him on my team. But you got to chase the execution, not the opportunity, because you will miss it. If you're fighting just to get the promotion, you will miss it. But if you're saying, I'm going to work hard, I'm going to execute, the opportunities will come. When you're chasing just a goal, your horizon is very, very small. But when you're chasing the execution, your horizon will broaden because others will come, opportunities will come that you can't even imagine and think of because you focused on what moves the needle, what opens the doors. Most opportunities aren't planned, they're introduced to you while you're already working. Action, you see, puts you in the path of chance. You gotta take so much action, you produce your own luck. The other thing I want to highlight is let's be honest, people don't act. Why? It's not because they don't lack ideas. Everyone has an idea. You could jump on ChatGPT and get ideas. Why? It's because of fear of failing, fear of looking foolish. You know how much of an idiot I looked like this last year? Ask my friends, ask my families. I started about 10 businesses in 2023 and 2024. I could show you. I need to do this. I need to just show you my notes. I have notes on a car washing business I was going to start, mobile detailing. I have I was going to do a SaaS company. What was it? I was going to do, marketing agency. It's going to help people run ads. Is that my superpower? No. Do I like detailing cars? No. I was going to start a power washing company. Do I like power washing? No. It doesn't matter if I like it or not. It's things I was just going to have to do to raise and build capital. I started a Christmas side business. I installed Christmas sites. Did I enjoy it? No. I was afraid on heights and roofs that were 11.5 pitches. It was scary. What else did I almost start? I was going to do a roof and gutter cleaning business. I was going to thought about doing Uber and Lyft again. And I was a roof salesman, actually. I actually joined a team and I did training for one. So that's what, 7. What else? Yeah, I was, and then I jumped into wholesaling, real estate. I was also going to start a senior living company. I look like a fool. Every week, my friends heard, I'm starting this new business, and they're just like, awesome. Yeah, good job. Yeah, you're good. They're supportive, right? You look like a fool. The other thing that stops people is fear of not being ready. But here's the irony. Doing nothing is the biggest waste of time there is. Action may cost you effort, but inaction costs you years. I started Christmas side business. I installed several Christmas sites. I have a shed full of Christmas light items. This previous year, I had to say no because my real estate stuff was demanding more time of me, and that was the end goal anyway, to get real estate. Was demanding more time from me, so I just said I'd say no to something I knew I could have made money on. I knew it. I know. But it was only, I only got to that place because I took action and got clarity on what I should be pursuing and spending my time on. Action may cost you effort, and I put a lot of effort into putting those trees or those lights up. A lot of effort into finding which lights are the best lights. A lot of effort of buying. I have $1,000 worth of equipment in a shed. I'm just like, I'm not going to do that business anymore because it's where I'm taking action on in the real estate space is just opening up for me. So don't be that person who doesn't take action. You see, what action actually looks like doesn't have to be dramatic. It just looks simple. Sending the message, making the call, publishing the post, showing up to the room, starting before you feel ready. You don't need the perfect plan. You just need to take the next step. Because what happens as you take action is that it shrinks fear. You get on that bike and you say to yourself, oh, this is actually not as bad as I thought it was. Oh, you know, you might fall, and you do fall and trip up. You brake too hard, and you don't go as fast as you. Okay. But that action builds clarity. It's like, okay, I got the hang of it. Okay, and it attracts opportunity. And this is where the brick by brick principle comes in. No one ever stumbles into a great life by accident. No one ever stumbles into a great life by accident. They act, they adjust, they act again, brick by brick. Every step creates data, every rep creates skill, and every move creates momentum. And momentum is where opportunity lives. You get to a point where you get one old lady sending you referrals. Man, if that lady just sends me four referrals a year, just four. That's 2 fix and flips, that's 2 rentals, that's 4 rentals, that's 4 fix and flips. That's 4 opportunities I would not have had in a million years if I wasn't taking action. I have another lady I've been taking action with. I've been networking with. I've been having conversations with. She's in a senior living space. She runs into seniors every single day who need to downsize, get into long-term or short-term care. She has somebody in Norman right now she's working with who's had flooding in her home, and the lady is wanting to be done to go into long-term care. Guess what? She's going to refer her to me because I was taking action. I was in the room. I was talking about the things I do. I buy houses. I help seniors downsize. I help seniors when they just want to be done and don't want to get it listed. She already sent me a referral, and I closed on it. If she just sends me 4 referrals this year, that's 8. Are you with me so far? That's 8 deals I would not have done otherwise, period, in a million years. So I have these 8 deals over here, and then I have all the other deals that I'm working, the leads I'm buying. I'm getting into some PPC, pay per click. So I'm going to have people calling me saying, hey, I want to sell my home immediately for this reason, at this cost, on this time frame. And I'm going to say, okay, awesome, let's work something out. And I'm going to be inundated and flooded with opportunity I created myself. You see, you can't just wait around thinking opportunity is going to come. A lady's going to knock on my door and say, hey, there's another lady who's a hoarder who wants to sell. Hey, I know a lady who needs to downsize. No, they don't know you. They don't know you're taking action. They don't know you're buying. They don't know what you're doing. But if you take the action, momentum will build, opportunity will come. So the challenge I have for you today is, what action have you been avoiding that you should be taking? Then do it. Not tomorrow, not next week, today. Because the life you want isn't waiting on permission, it's waiting on movement. It's waiting for you to stand up and take the steps necessary to move. And as you move, action will come, or clarity will come. As you get clarity, confidence will be built. As you get confidence, momentum will rise as a wave. You see, opportunity doesn't come knocking. It comes running when you start moving. So keep building, keep acting, keep showing up, brick by brick. And by the end of 2026, you'll get to a point. This is where I'm at in my real estate business. I'm saying to myself, I need to build systems. I need to actually start hiring people, because I'm going to have more opportunity than I personally can handle by myself. 8 is a small number, but if I get 8 houses that need 40, 50, 60, 8, I got one right now, it's $110,000 rehab so far. I'm going to get another one. It's probably going to be 80, 90K rehab. If I just get 8 of those, that's enough to overwhelm someone. Not including the deals I'm working on my own. You'll get to the end of 2026 and you'll say to yourself, okay, I got more than I can handle. I need to build systems, or I need to slow down. You can't imagine it now because you're not taking the action necessary to produce and build that. But if you do, you realize action produces opportunity. So, what are you going to do to build a life worth living, brick by brick?